is truly the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time! Introducing, fighting out of Brownsville, New York, USA, presenting the heavyweight undisputed champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson!
Can you believe that there are still some people out there who may not know about the monumental event that took place in the boxing world 37 years ago? It was an extraordinary moment, a seismic shift that changed the landscape of the sport forever. On that fateful night, a mere 20-year-old Mike Tyson achieved what no one else had done before him. He became the youngest heavyweight champion in boxing history. This incredible achievement not only elevated Tyson to stardom, but also marked the beginning of a new era in the world of boxing. Allow me to elaborate on this unforgettable night. His opponent, Trevor Berbick, was a formidable figure in the ring, boasting a wealth of experience at 32 years old. However, this experience proved to be insignificant when faced with the unstoppable force that was Tyson. Tyson's triumphant victory over Berbick did not just signify a win, it heralded the dawn of a reign that would come to define modern boxing for years to follow. The journey that led Tyson to this championship title, characterized by his incredible combination of raw power, pinpoint precision, and sheer dominance, remains one of the most awe-inspiring narratives in the annals of sports history. But to truly appreciate the significance of Tyson's monumental achievement, we must delve into the context surrounding it. At just 20 years old and a mere year and 7 months into his professional career, Tyson had already competed in an astonishing 27 bouts. This is an incredible feat, especially in today's boxing landscape, where fighters often take months off between matches. At that time, Tyson had already started to attract attention for his ferocious knockouts and aggressive fighting style. However, it was his victory over Berbick that would firmly establish him as not just a heavyweight to watch, but potentially the heavyweight to beat. This moment would serve as the catalyst for what would become an iconic legacy in the world of boxing. As we look back on this pivotal moment in boxing history, it's essential to understand how it set the stage for Tyson's ascent to greatness. The energy surrounding his rise was palpable, and the boxing world was eagerly watching to see if this young prodigy could fulfill the immense potential that many had already recognized. Tyson's fierce determination and exceptional skills made him not just another fighter. He was a phenomenon, someone who could change the dynamics of the sport overnight. As we prepare to witness the fight that would solidify his place in history, let's reflect on the journey that brought him to this moment. Are you ready to dive into the electrifying clash that would forever alter the course of boxing? Trevor Berbick was far from an ordinary opponent, and his journey in the world of boxing was marked by hard-fought battles and unwavering determination. He had meticulously crafted his reputation through relentless perseverance and remarkable grit. One of the defining moments of his career was a grueling 15-round battle against the heavyweight champion Larry Holmes. Although Berbick ultimately lost that match, he showcased incredible resilience and skill by going the full distance with Holmes. This was no small feat, as no other fighter had managed to endure that long during Holmes' impressive reign as champion. Adding to his lore was Berbick's controversial victory over a past his prime Muhammad Ali in a bout infamously dubbed the Drama in Bahama. While this fight is often remembered more for its theatrics than for any display of boxing prowess, it nevertheless contributed to Berbick's legacy as a fighter who could take on and defeat legends. Despite not being a spectacular athlete, Berbick was known for being a solid, durable heavyweight, someone who could withstand punishment and keep pressing forward. His career included notable victories over respected opponents such as John Tate, Greg Page, Pinklon Thomas, and David Bay, each triumph reinforcing his status in the heavyweight division. Yet despite these accomplishments and his extensive experience, the atmosphere surrounding his upcoming clash with Tyson was charged with anticipation. The question loomed large: could Berbick's toughness and experience withstand the onslaught of a young dynamo? Many analysts and fans were skeptical, believing that Tyson's explosive style and unyielding power would be far too much for Berbick to handle. As the anticipation built in the days leading up to the fight, the stage was set for what many viewed as a clash of generations, a seasoned veteran against a brash newcomer. The excitement in the arena was palpable, with fans buzzing about the potential for an upset and speculating whether Berbick could defy the odds one more time. But as the lights dimmed and the fighters prepared to step into the ring, all eyes were on Tyson, the unstoppable force poised to take the heavyweight title and etch his name into boxing history. And so, the moment arrived. The arena filled with the sound of cheers and the electric energy of anticipation as the fighters entered the ring, ready to embark on a battle that would be remembered for years to come. With the roar of the crowd echoing in the background, The main event was about to unfold, and history was about to be made. Berbick, having just claimed the WBC title after defeating Pinklon Thomas, entered the ring that night against Tyson, fully aware of the storm that awaited him. The crowd roared with anticipation, a cacophony of emotions that enveloped the arena. Berbick felt the weight of the moment. His heart raced, a mix of excitement and apprehension coursing through his veins. He'd fought hard to get to this point, and yet he couldn't shake the feeling that he was about to face something extraordinary. Tyson, despite being just 20, was already considered a prodigy, thanks in large part to his mentor, Cus D'Amato. The young fighter stood in his corner, a taut bundle of energy, eyes burning with determination. D'Amato had carefully crafted Tyson's approach to the ring, teaching him the art of controlled aggression, lightning-quick combinations, and an iron defense. Each lesson from D'Amato echoed in Tyson's mind, fueling his ambition. In many ways, Tyson's pursuit of the heavyweight crown was a tribute to D'Amato, who'd passed away the year prior. Tyson could almost feel D'Amato's presence beside him, urging him to seize the moment, to fight not just for himself, but for the man who had believed in him when no one else did. As the bell rang for the opening round, Berbick tried everything he could to fend off Tyson's relentless pressure. The older man threw his punches with power and aggression, desperation creeping into his movements. He could hear the crowd chanting Tyson's name, the sheer energy overwhelming him as he landed a hammer fist to the top of Tyson's head, a move more suited for the UFC than a boxing ring. But to Berbick's dismay, Tyson was unshaken. The blows seemed to ignite a fire within him rather than quench it. Tyson pressed forward with a calm, calculated aggression that belied his youth. Every move he made was purposeful, and every punch was part of a master plan laid out by D'Amato long before. With each jab, Tyson demonstrated not just physical power, but also an emotional intensity, channeling the grief of losing his mentor into sheer determination. He fought for D'Amato's legacy, a silent promise to honor his memory by proving the world wrong and becoming the youngest heavyweight champion. With every punch thrown, Tyson felt the roar of the crowd, a symphony of encouragement that echoed in his heart. He could feel the electricity of the moment coursing through his veins. This was his chance to make history. As he slipped past Berbick's defenses, landing a brutal combination to the body, Tyson's eyes lit up with a fierce joy. It was a primal dance of aggression and skill, the kind that made the crowd erupt in euphoric cheers. The emotional stakes were high for both fighters. Berbick, grappling with the realization that he might be witnessing a rise of a new legend, felt a mix of admiration and fear. He'd entered the ring as the champion, but he was slowly becoming aware that he was standing in the shadow of a potential titan. Tyson's relentless pursuit was more than just a fight. It was a manifestation of dreams, hopes, and the weight of expectations, a narrative that was unfolding in real time. As the rounds progressed, the tension in the air thickened. Tyson's confidence blossomed with each successful blow, his joy spilling over into fierce determination. Every punch landed was a reminder of his training, of D'Amato's unwavering belief in his potential. In the depths of his being, Tyson knew this was his moment, and he was ready to seize it. It wasn't long before Tyson's superiority became evident. Berbick's attempts to push Tyson back were futile, like trying to hold back a raging storm with a paper wall. The younger fighter unleashed a relentless torrent of punches, sharp jabs that snapped against Berbick's face, punishing hooks that connected with brutal accuracy, and crushing uppercuts that sent shockwaves through his opponent's body, rocking Berbick's head back and forth like a pendulum. The Jamaican champion was visibly rattled, his composure faltering as Tyson stalked him around the ring like a predator, sizing up its prey. Each moment seemed to amplify Berbick's vulnerability. His legs grew unsteady, and the realization dawned on him that he was not just facing a formidable opponent, but a force of nature. The bell signaling the end of the first round rang like a lifeline, perhaps Berbick's only moment of respite, but it was clear to all watching that the end was near. Let me tell you how round 2 went. The atmosphere was electric, thick with anticipation as the bell rang to begin the second round. Tyson charged out of his corner like a coiled spring, his focus unyielding and his determination palpable. Berbick, desperate to hold on to the fading remnants of his title, tried to muster a defense, but it was like trying to contain a wildfire. It happened quickly. Tyson, with the precision of a master craftsman, delivered a vicious left hook that landed squarely on Berbick's jaw. The impact echoed through the arena, and Berbick found himself floored, the canvas coming up to meet him with a brutal embrace. He rose quickly, perhaps too quickly, adrenaline flooding his system, but Tyson was already back on the attack. The young challenger continued his onslaught with an unrelenting barrage of hooks and uppercuts, each punch a testament to his sheer power and ferocity. Berbick staggered back once more, his eyes wide with shock, as if he couldn't quite comprehend the force that was Tyson. It was as if Berbick's body was caught in a fierce battle between instinct and reality. His spirit refused to concede. Yet his legs betrayed him, buckling under the sheer force of Tyson's blows. Each connection sent a wave of disbelief rippling through the crowd, and they could sense it. This was not just a fight. It was a monumental shift in the landscape of boxing. Tyson's face was a mask of focus and intensity as he moved in with relentless aggression, feeling the electric energy of the crowd pushing him forward. In that moment, he was not just fighting for a title, he was fighting for everything he'd ever dreamed of. The cheers from the fans were a symphony that echoed in his heart, urging him on as he relentlessly pursued his prey. Berbick, on the defensive, attempted to regain his composure, but the emotional weight of the situation hung heavy on him. He could see the youth and ferocity of Tyson in every punch, a stark reminder that time was not on his side. With each passing second, the inevitability of Tyson's victory loomed larger. The once confident champion, known for his resilience and grit, was slowly becoming a figure of despair in the ring. Tyson's every punch spoke of his journey, a journey filled with hardships, loss, and an unwavering desire to honor his late mentor, Cus D'Amato. It was a narrative unfolding before the eyes of the world, a story of triumph that transcended the physical contest taking place in the ring. The final punch, a devastating left hook, landed with the force of a thunderclap, sending Berbick crashing to the canvas for the third and final time. Time seemed too slow as he hit the mat. His body sprawled in a defeated heap, the air knocked out of him. It was a moment that would be replayed endlessly in boxing montages, each viewing a reminder of Tyson's explosive rise. Berbick attempted to rise, fueled by sheer willpower, but he collapsed again, his body unable to withstand the damage Tyson had inflicted. The referee's count echoed in the arena, and as he reached 10, the roar of the crowd crescendoed into a euphoric chorus. Tyson had done it. In just 2 rounds, he had dismantled a reigning heavyweight champion and etched his name into the history books as the youngest man ever to win a heavyweight title. Yet Tyson's victory was more than just a historic milestone. It was a declaration. At a time when the heavyweight division was searching for a new face, Tyson's arrival marked the dawn of a new era. He stood in the ring, sweat glistening on his brow, fists raised in triumph, an image of youthful exuberance and raw power. He wasn't merely a champion, but a phenomenon, a whirlwind of energy and intensity that captivated the imagination of fans worldwide. His rise to the top was meteoric, fueled by his unyielding determination and an insatiable hunger for greatness. Inside the ring, his dominance was so absolute that many believed he would remain undefeated for years to come, a modern-day gladiator poised to redefine the sport. For Berbick, however, the fight signaled the end of his time at the pinnacle of the sport. The weight of the loss settled heavily on his shoulders, and as he lay on the canvas, a mix of disbelief and resignation washed over him. Once a formidable champion, he tasted the bitter fruit of defeat at the hands of a man who had emerged like a comet, bright and brilliant, but just as fleeting. While Berbick would continue boxing for another 14 years, the glimmer of his past glory would never return. He fought on, trying to reclaim a lost legacy, but the shadow of Tyson loomed large, a constant reminder of what he'd once achieved and what he could never regain. As the years passed, Berbick's post-boxing life was marked by tragedy. The vibrant spirit that once electrified the ring faded into obscurity. He faced struggles that transcended the squared circle, grappling with personal demons and the harsh realities of life after the spotlight. The brutal sport he'd once embraced seemed to turn its back on him, and by 2006, the world learned of his grim fate. He was murdered in his homeland of Jamaica, a shocking and violent end to the life of a man who had once shared the ring with legends like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. The news sent ripples through the boxing community, a somber reminder of the fragility of life and the dark turns that can follow even the most illustrious careers. Tyson, on the other hand, would go on to become one of the most polarizing figures in sports history. His reign as heavyweight champion was a roller coaster of unparalleled highs and devastating lows. His swift descent to the top was brutal, marked by controversy, legal troubles, and personal demons. Yet, for all his faults, his place among boxing greats is undeniable. Tyson's victory over Berbick was iconic not just because he became the youngest heavyweight champion, but also due to the manner in which he achieved it. In an era of cautious heavyweights, Tyson brought a ferocity and speed unseen since a young Joe Louis. His punches were like sledgehammers, and his ability to close the distance was unmatched. Berbick, despite his experience, was no match for the whirlwind that was Tyson. In the years that followed, Tyson continued to demolish opponents, unifying heavyweight titles and facing legends like Larry Holmes and Michael Spinks. This journey began on that night 37 years ago when a 20-year-old from Brooklyn announced he was the baddest man on the planet. Tyson's journey from troubled youth to world champion is compelling, and his victory over Berbick is the chapter where it all began. It's a fight remembered for its dominance, marking a significant shift in boxing history. As we reflect on this remarkable chapter in boxing history, let's take a moment to appreciate the legacy of Iron Mike Tyson. A legacy that continues to inspire and provoke conversation in the world of sports. So if you found this story as captivating as Tyson's punches, why not give it a thumbs up? Like the video and subscribe for more knockout content. And leave a comment below sharing your thoughts. Was Tyson the greatest of all time, or do you think he was just a flash in the pan? Let's keep the conversation going. After all, in the ring of life, everyone deserves a chance to take a swing.